What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another More You Know Mondays. And of course, like always, got my good buddy right over here.
What up? What up? How are you doing?
Oh, doing good, man. Can't complain. He's having a great weekend. I know you got a storm coming, so if there's some spotty reception on his side or he blurs out a little bit, or if he says something I don't like, I can kick him out. I can blame it on the rain. All right. I know we got a lot to go over. I know we're running a couple minutes late right here, but of course you want to say, what's up, Southern Comic Geek? Las Cruces in the house. ME Comics, thank you guys so much for hanging out right now. Let's get this intro going here. All right.
All right.
So we've had a lot of good shows. We had a couple of the foreign comics ones. Still getting a lot of questions coming in about that. A lot of people have been rewatching some of the shows as well, getting into it a little bit. I know Scarecrow. I know. Hey, thank you so much. You know, I know you've got a couple issues now, and you've been watching them, so we appreciate that. You have any questions from your last show as well, Shelby? We doing your side?
You know, main thing. Oops, so you or me? A little echo there. It's gone. The main thing is, you know, a few people appreciated the information. You know, that they definitely feel like there is some market manipulation going on. You know, but nobody, you know, no like earth-shattering things or anything like that. But, you know, I'm definitely, there's been a couple of good news articles coming out recently about the collectibles market. So, yeah, maybe I'll bring an update or something sometime soon.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, like you guys know, we're trying to shorten our format a little bit more to get a little bit more bite-sized than the hour, 2 hour long ones we normally do. So we're going to kind of jump right into it. As you guys know, we've been bringing in some special guests on here, people that are really knowledgeable in these areas. And tonight is no different. We got my boy J1 Future is coming on. Obviously, he gives a lot of information on YouTube and on IG. His links are down below. You can check him out right there. He gives a lot back to the community, and he is knee deep in this NFT stuff. So let's bring in J1, man. What is up, J1?
Yes, sir. How's everyone doing tonight?
What up, J1?
Good, buddy. I appreciate you coming by here and dropping some of this knowledge that you got stored up for us here and the More You Know Monday crew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, no, man. No, we appreciate you coming on, boy. And like I said, you've been doing a lot for the IG and the YouTube community, and I know I've been following you for a while now. So I appreciate all those nuggets of information you dropped down for us. So I appreciate you having on here. And I know we can talk for quite a while on this subject. I know there's some other videos that are about it, and you've got some great in-depth videos. So we're just kind of go over kind of the top of a little bit of what we're talking about, of what are NFTs. So let me pull up the actual VeVe site here. But if you want to jump into it and actually define what is an NFT.
Okay. So basically, NFT is like a digital asset. So it could be like a picture. It could be like a piece of art. It could be music. It could be video. Like you have a lot of artists now, like musicians that basically they're releasing their album, like new artists, not like, you know, Kanye West or anything like that, but like a lot of new artists now are coming out and saying like my CD is going to be sold as an NFT and there's only 1 million copies and you can buy it for $1 each. And so basically this one artist came out and in 1 minute sold his album out. So basically people bought the album $1 each. And I don't think there was a cap for how many you can buy. So like some people bought 10, I think. But basically he sold 1 million copies and made $1 million because $1 per album. So he made $1 million and sold 1 million copies in 1 minute. Gone.
Wow.
And then so he made his $1 million and he's a new artist, you know what I mean? So he's not like a, you know, Kanye West or Drake who has millions of dollars. These are up and coming artists. It's like his first album or whatever, you know? And so his manager probably told him like, hey, we can, instead of going through our labels and, you know, record labels and whatever, let's just drop the album and make a cool make your first million, and we're good to go. So he did. And the reason, and now a lot of times people will say, well, why did people buy? Why did people spend $1 on one album or buy 10 and spend $10? Why did they give this artist? Why did they buy the album, you know,
in this format, right?
Yeah, in this format. And the reason why is because this is a win-win for the artist and the consumer. For the consumer, it's a win because that NFT has a aftermarket value. So basically, people are turning around now and selling like that $1 album that they bought. I think they're selling it for hundreds, possibly for thousands. But I know for sure hundreds. I think somebody, one of my friends sent me a message. I think they were going for like 300, 500, something like that. So, you know, easy money. And so it works both ways. And that's why NFTs work, is because it's a win for the artist because they make their millions. And then it's a win for the consumer because there's a nice, not only is there a nice aftermarket, but it's a demanding, it's a quick turnaround. It's a quick aftermarket. So like DraftKings, they teamed up with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is like part CEO, like part owner of this DraftKings. And he did a card, you know, a trading card of Tom Brady, and they got all the big names, Wayne Gretzky and Derek Jeter. Right. And basically you can go get the Tom Brady card when it went on sale. I think the lowest one was $12 and the highest one I think was like 1,000 or something. And so there was a limited amount. For the $12, there was, I think, only 5,000. And then for the $25, there was only 2,500. And then for the $1,000 one, I think there was only like 100 or 50. Basically, the turnaround was so quick that as soon as it sold out, which it did in like 60 seconds, the DraftKings has the aftermarket built into it. So people literally bought it on DraftKings and then hopped onto the aftermarket on DraftKings, not like eBay or whatever. And the $12 was selling for 100, and the $25 was selling for like 180. And this was like right after it sold out. So you spend 12, you're almost doing 10x. You know,
sure. If you're one of the lucky ones that get it, because like I said, these sell out so quickly, and these are all backed up by blockchain, right? Yeah.
These are all backed up by blockchain, and basically, the way it works is there's something out there called Ethereum, and I don't know if too many people are familiar with the crypto world. But if you're familiar with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is basically like digital currency, and Ethereum is basically like digital oil. So like you know, like oil you put in the car. Just think of digital oil. That's what Ethereum is. So in other words, 90% of tokens out there, and tokens is basically what's used to for people to, like, they use tokens to purchase these NFTs, like the comic that you have right now up. In order to purchase that comic, like on VeVe, a certain token needs to be used, a certain blockchain needs to be used, and 90% of it runs on Ethereum. So a lot of people are not only buying NFTs, but they're investing on the back end what runs these things. So like you could be buying, you could go like hop on and buy Ethereum right now, for example, and Ethereum has 10x in 1 year. So last year, if you bought Ethereum, it was $300. Right now it's going for $3,000. And I'm just talking about like one whole coin. So just think of like one, if you told me you wanted one Ethereum, like think of like a whole pizza pie. If you wanted one whole pie, one pizza, you know, full of Ethereum, last year it would cost you $300. Now it costs you $3,000. So it's 10x.
Very similar to stocks. You own one share of Amazon, it's $100.
Exactly, one share. Yeah.
Same thing. So like I said, these NFTs are not necessarily new. They've been around for since 2014, 2015, something like that. It's really gotten popular the past couple of years. Right. And really, I guess what got the attention of the comic world, what we're kind of focusing on right now, and from what I heard, there was a couple of artists they're actually selling their work, digital work, that were some Marvel comics and DC comics. And I think one of the guys made like 20 million or something like that. He made some obscene amount of money selling his digital artwork, which were, Marvel DC characters and everything. And Marvel and DC saw that, especially Marvel, and they said, "Whoa, those are our characters. You can't be selling this for that much money. We want some of that. We want some of that money too." And apparently they teamed up with Vivi just a couple of months ago. And when you talk about these quick turnarounds, man, I looked at some of these and I saw when the Fantastic Four one dropped, and I said, "Okay, cool. I'm going to try this out and see how it goes." And we'll talk about the process here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I logged on. It dropped because they have drop dates and drop times. It was like 7:30 in the morning or something like that. So I wake up and I looked at it at like 7:32 or something like that, and it was sold out. 60,000 digital units sold out, and they sell them for $7 a piece. And they drop one a day for a couple days. So over the first 4 days, they made over $1 million in sales.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And obviously Marvel's getting a cut of that. And one of the things that Marvel loves about this is because they can track it. And it's got that blockchain. Marvel makes money if you turn around and sell it again. They keep making a piece of that every time you sell it. Unlike normal comics where they just sell it to their local comic book store and they don't see a profit of again. Now they're just raking it in.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you break it down a little more for me? Is when Jeff and I were talking about this last week or the week before, the closest thing I equated it to was Magic Online, where you can purchase Magic the Gathering cards online and play online, but you only have a digital copy. That's it. Like there's not a real physical object associated with it. And then you can sell those cards on Magic Online. So as certain values go up and such, then you can sell them and actually make some money and things like that. So the your license or whatever that's associated with that card can then be passed to someone else, and now they own it. So are we kind of talking the same thing? Like when I purchase something digitally, I now own a license, or what is the exact thing? And second is piracy, right? Like if I'm purchasing a comic, if I just want to read the comic book, I can take screenshots of the damn comic book I just purchased and pass those around or something. What's the explain this a little more to me to understand how that works, if you can.
Yeah. I think the best way I can kind of explain it is that, because I've had friends too that kind of like, when this whole thing started, they messaged me and they were like, "Look, I don't get it. It's a digital comic. I can't have it in my hands. Why would I want to pay for something digital that, I can't physically hold? I don't get it." And there's a lot of people that think that way, and that's their main thing. It's kind of like, well, it's digital, so why, if I can't have it physically, like why should I buy it? Like the main thing I said to my friends who've messaged me about that, and I'll say, is that it's really not about digital versus physical. It's not about that at all. I know that's what Vivi wants people to think, because Vivi wants to, they're trying to make this into a technology thing, where like you don't get to just read the comics. Now you have AR. I don't know if you've seen the latest update, but now you can literally put the comic book anywhere in front of you and turn the pages and read it.
As if, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, as if it's sitting on your desk. So like you can kind of like how the Spider-Man, like the people could use the AR with the Spider-Man that they came out, and they were projecting it like Spider-Man was in their backyard. or was
Right, you
it
can
a
see them on
bedroom?
your ceiling. Yeah.
They've done that now with the comic book, where you could turn it into an AR and you can like act like it's sitting on your desk digitally and you're reading it. So VV will push the agenda of, you know, look at the technology. The technology is cool. This is what you can do with it. And, you know, that's fine. That's their agenda. And I get it. And it is cool and understandable. But at the end of the day, what this comes down to is money. That's it. Just follow the money, bottom line. And so it's not really about digital technology, whatever. It's just about money. That's it, pure and simple. NFT has a huge community, and it's not even that big. Honestly, my videos I talked about, it's only 1% of the world population. So NFT, that digital asset, is meant as a global asset. Because basically you can sell to anybody. Like I could sell to somebody in Australia right now in 2 seconds, and they can pay me the money, and we can make this transaction happen. No shipping, no packaging, no whatever. It's just a code. Boom, I put it. They give me the money digitally. Everything wire transfers is done. And so it's just about pure and simple, just making money. So it's not even about like, oh, it's digital. Do I want something digital? It's not physical.
Right.
So it's a global asset, and the community is only 1% of the world. So it's only 75 million people, I believe, is what I did on the video. It's only 1% of the world population. That's the aftermarket, size of the aftermarket, the community. They're projecting that every year it could go up maybe 10%. So this market that we're seeing right now, like these books selling out, these comics selling out in 60 seconds, and these prices going from $7 to $200 or whatever, it's really nothing, because the demand is not really there. The supply is there. Like you said, Jeff, 60,000 for cover A, 5,000 for some of these variants. The supply is there, but the demand is not there. The demand is not there at all. It's only
so to kind of go back and I guess kind of clarify it a little bit. It's the same. Again, I always kind of equate this back to stocks. Stocks used to be a physical thing. If you bought a stock, you got a physical piece of paper saying you own this share of our company. And nowadays, you don't. You go on TD Ameritrade and you've got a digital thing. You buy it. I got a share. It's in my digital account. This is the same way, because this is a blockchain, thing. You've got a huge computing power needed, and you got a specific code for this particular comic book that can't be screenshot. You can't sell it saying, hey, I've got this too. Here's a screenshot of it. It's tied to this particular digital thing that can't be duplicated.
Yeah,
that's kind of their angle to it, right?
Yeah, because in essence, everybody basically has a wallet, like a digital wallet, right? Or like a digital vault, but they call it like a digital wallet. And you basically put things in your wallet, right? And so this is no different. Like on VV, everybody has like their own wallet. So when you buy these comics, they go in your wallet. So if I wanted to sell one to you, for example, you would give me your specific QR code, or I could just simply type your name. And basically I can easily transfer one of these comics from my wallet, and I could put it in your wallet. And it's basically like me no different than me getting a comic book and giving it to you. It's just digitally,
Right.
And
then so we're not talking.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about something that you would like open up and read in a PDF viewer. I mean,
no, it's not in a.
You can read them. You definitely can read them. That's one of the downsides I have with this is that you don't get to see the full comic. I mean, it's all the pages and it's all in color and it looks great, but you don't get to see the advertising. You don't get to see the back cover. So it's all the other cool stuff inside, but you don't get to see.
Right.
But yeah, you can read this just like a normal PDF and everything up there.
On the app itself.
Right. On the app itself. Correct. Yeah. So with Matthew's question, what's up? What's up, Fox? Appreciate you coming in, broski. The NFT, what is it? Did you guys answer? What if someone uses an NFT you own without your permission? It's the same thing as a digital comic as far as they wanted to do a screenshot of it. You won't be able to sell it because you don't have that license. You can't physically access it. That's the power of blockchain. You can't duplicate that at all. but you can certainly take a screenshot and try and sell someone a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I think the question might be pertaining to like artwork also, because there are a lot of because it's all digital. There are people out there that are, that will steal someone's art. Like they will take somebody's art and they will create it. Because you can create your own NFT. People can create their own NFT. So essentially, they might see somebody's artwork or whatever, and they'll try to duplicate that and create their own version of it or duplicate it, and then they'll try to sell it. Like I've seen artists on Instagram where they're being asked, "Hey, I didn't know you started selling NFTs," and the artist will be like, "I don't sell NFTs. That's somebody selling my stuff without my permission. I didn't give permission. I didn't create that NFT. Somebody just created an NFT and slapped the artist's name on it. Like, oh, this is Andy Kubert's art, you know?" And people are like,
it's the same as any other thing. Right now, you can make a T-shirt of a Jack Kirby Thor if you wanted to, and not pay for the licensing. It's still wrong, and you can get in trouble for it. But you can certainly do that. But it's
it's like exactly.
Right.
It's like anything else. It's like
right. So going back to the actual process of the digital comic side, we're talking about with especially VeVe, because they're the only ones that are licensed to do this right now. They've got that exclusive license with Marvel. Now, looking at the screen right now, I guess if we walk through the whole process here, you have to sign up for an account with a VeVe account, which is kind of a pain in the butt. It's not an easy process to get set up, but you get set up with your account, and you don't actually buy anything with dollars. Right? You've got to transfer it, and you have to buy gems. And then you take these gems, and the gems is what buys the comics for you. Yeah. And an example of, like, say, the Avengers that's coming out, the first appearance of Kang, which a lot of times people say, well, we'll just buy the first appearance of Kang. Obviously, it's a lot of money. Here you can get it for $7. They have a bunch of variants. So if you want to explain the process of even the gem process, that whole fun thing. And then the next part talking about the actual comics and how do you get, when you log on right away and buy it for $7, how do you get these variants?
Yeah, well, first I'll say that Marvel won't sign an exclusive deal with anybody. They're temporarily working with VeVe, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go work with somebody else, because from my research that I've done, Marvel's basically like, even back in the day when they would do trading cards, they would never really do exclusive deals with anybody, even for trading cards. So I don't see them doing a long-term deal with VeVe. I think it's more like their first stop.
Right, they're testing the water. This is all brand new, for everyone. So sure.
Yeah, so I definitely see them going somewhere else at some point. But basically, the way the process works is, so when you log on to VeVe, basically, whatever, let's say if I have an iPhone, right? If I have Apple, my credit card or debit card that's attached to my Apple account. So like when I go to the App Store and I want to purchase an app, it tells you, do you want to charge your card? Whatever that card is that you have on file that's connected to like the App Store and all that good stuff.
Right.
When you're on VeVe, when you go to purchase something, it basically wants you to first buy gems. And when you go buy these gems, which we can think of it as like, buying like tickets, when you go buy these gems, it basically charges that card on file. So whatever card is on file in the App Store, that's the card it will charge. So and each gem is $1. So if you want 35 gems, it will charge you $35 cash on the card that's on file, whatever card you have on file.
Okay.
And then basically you would turn around and use those gems to purchase whatever it is you want to purchase. The one issue that I've even on my Instagram post, on my latest Instagram post, and it's funny because VeVe started following me once I posted this latest thing, but basically on my latest Instagram post, I said that, I support VeVe. But the two things that I think they need to come out and do a better job of communicating is, one, when can we turn these gems into cash? So in other words, if I have this Krang and you want to buy it from me, and I get 100 gems from you, and you get this comic from me, my question to Vivi was, what am I supposed to do with these gems? Because I would like to trade in these gems for cash and be able to put $100 in my pocket, not just have a credit of $100 of 100 gems on my Vivi account for my next purchase. And so
that's the biggest problem right now with the whole thing that we kind of see is because you're dealing with gems and not cash. This works. You can't, and like you mentioned before, there's a built-in marketplace for this in the Vivi app itself. Right. So when you buy a comic and you get a rare one, you can turn around in the app and sell it in the marketplace, like I said, and you'll get 100 gems for it, which again, you can only use to buy more digital comics for. The only way that I can possibly see getting actual cash out of this is to list it on like eBay.
Right.
You list it on eBay, you can sell for cash on eBay and then transfer it to that person's account, right? Yeah. Unless is there another way that you know of?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like that's like the loophole. That's like the alternative way to do it. But obviously, there's a lot of people out there that don't want to deal with eBay. They don't want to deal with all that stuff that eBay brings with it. And so their demand to Vivi is, hey, forget eBay. You're selling the product. This is your whole deal. You create the blockchain. You create the technology where I could just transfer it to cash, because obviously when I go to buy gems, you're charging my card on file. Right. You're charging me cash for the gems. So it's only fair if I turn around and sell those gems for cash and vice versa, put the money in my account. So I know they're working on it. Like I said, I'm not trying to talk bad about Vivi. I mean, I support Vivi. I know they're working on it. The technology is new. The blockchain is new. I know they got some smart minds working on it. My whole thing was we need better communication. We need somebody from Vivi to come out and be like, hey, we're working on it. Give us a month, or by November 1st, give us something so we can look forward to it and be like, oh, okay, I should continue buying these comics because by November 1st, for example, I could turn all these gems into cash. It gives people an incentive to be like, I should still keep buying. But the reason that they haven't, I feel like, is what's causing people like me to be like, I don't know if I want to go as heavy on it as I first did, because I'm not getting that communication.
Right, sure. And to Nephilim, to your question, what's the difference between buying digital comics that you get from Amazon or a Kindle? That's what Vivi is making a little differently with that blockchain, with the actual limited numbers. So each comic you get from there is numbered. It's officially licensed by Marvel on there. It's numbered on there. And it really, when it comes down to it comes down to the marketplace and people having faith in it, like anything else, I think is really what it comes down to. People are believing that these limited numbers, which you own that number. No one else can get that number or anything for you. You own that. Of 60,000, you can have number 10,000, of it. And that is yours. So you can sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. You can't do that with an Amazon Kindle or PDF or anything else like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was just reading on this. So Jeff, actually, if you click on that, if you're on a website, click on that view. Yeah, scroll down. So when this drops, there are these different covers.
Yep.
And you pay $6.99 or $7 like we were talking about. But then scroll down a little more. It says you won't know exactly what you bought until after delivery. So I could spend $7. I'm assuming I could purchase as many as I wanted, or I'm not sure if it limits me to one purchase.
No, it limits you to one because it's a blockchain and it takes a lot of computing power to do this. You can only put one in your cart at a time. You can buy multiple ones, but you can only put one item in your cart at a time, buy it, then do it again, and keep doing that until you get one, because they randomly give out. It's not like when we think of a retail incentive, and if you buy 10 copies of it, one of them, you're going to have the option of getting the retail incentive. This is not like that. They randomly just give it out. So you can just buy one.
Yeah, and I could get anything from a secret rare to a common, just through lottery, if you want to call it that. And then second, there it says, on top of your $7, there's a 6% Marvel licensing fee, and then a 2.5% secondary fee, which would be 8 Yeah, 8.5%. So your $7 is about another 65 cents or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, basically like you pay $7 and then you get like think of like a mystery box. It's like, it's like one comic is like in a mystery box, like you don't know what it is. So like you open it and you're like, oh, it's the rarest one. And sometimes people think it's a numbers game, so they'll go in there and they'll buy 20 of them, and then all 20 of them are common. So like they're cover A's. Where like some of my friends on Instagram, they've bought only one, and that one has happened to be the rarest one there is. So sometimes it is a numbers game, sometimes it's not. I've had friends luck out with just buying one, where people that think that it's a numbers game and they bought 20, they haven't lucked out at all. But the biggest thing is the numbers right there. Jeff, if you can scroll down to the numbers. Yeah, the biggest thing right here is the numbers. So the reason why it has such a big following is because after you surpass cover A, these numbers drop like crazy. So like one of the covers, we're talking 6,000, 2,200 for the other one, 1,000 for the other one, 500, 250. Now, the biggest thing, the selling point of this is the aftermarket is this is a global digital asset. A lot of times in America, like a lot of folks will think about domestic print run, like 60,000 for the United States or for domestic. This is global. So that's why it had such a big following, is because even that 60,000, you got to divide it by 7 billion people, by the whole world. So it's the whole world trying to get this. You can't think of it as a domestic print run, like, oh, 60,000 print run is a high print run, or it's a low print run, it's a medium print run. You got to get that out of your head, because this is a global digital asset. So that 250 goes for people listed for 1 million gems, because that 250 is only supposed to be for 7 billion people. So again, back to my point of the supply is there. Everybody loves the supply aspect of it. The numbers are low, especially from a global perspective. It's just that the demand is not there yet. Like the demand is just not there, which is why people invest in it, because they believe that once you can get these comics out of here and put it in the true open market, like OpenSea, where like all the NFTs are, and people actually go there to purchase NFTs, not like eBay, where it doesn't have a community and a market. And that's the other second point that people are waiting for VeVe is, when can I take this comic out, not just put it on eBay where there's no community, NFT community, no market, but put it in a specific market, sort of like eBay, but it's OpenSea, so it's tailored for NFTs. When can I put this comic there? Because then I could truly sell it to a bigger community, as opposed to just the community that's in VeVe,
Right. Yep. And Matthew has a great point. This is not a new concept. I mean, video games and everything been doing this for years. So it's just now coming over to the comic side. And to your point, these rare ones, those are the ones that are going for a lot of gems right now. They're going for, 18, 20, $100. I've seen a couple listed for several hundred or 1,000. Yeah. And then the common ones, which are the cool covers, the ones that I like, the regular Kang original covers, those are the common ones, what you can buy in the aftermarket for cheaper than what you could have bought when it first came out. So when it first came out, you can try $7 or wait till after it comes out and buy it for $1 or $2.
Right.
And you can get, if you think this is going to take off, because like you said, there's so much supply right now compared to the demand. But if this catches on, we definitely know 60,000 is not that much, especially like you're saying, it's global, not US, it's global. If this catches on, 60,000 will go away pretty darn quick.
Well, no, and scroll down. This isn't 60. This is, I think, 10,000.
Oh, this particular one is 10. Usually they do 50 or 60. This is the first one.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of like VeVe's way of trying to spice it up a little bit, because they don't have the gem to cash it. They don't have the ability to move these comics out yet. So they're trying to throw a bone to everybody. And I think that bone is, let's lower the supply. So forget 60,000. How about 10,000 for comment, just for the common one, the cover A. And, I think, like I said, the reason why is because it all comes down to money. if I'm the consumer, if I can't make money on this comic, there's no reason for me to buy. It's all about profit, not only for them, but for me. That's why they're lowering the supply to 10,000, because 10,000 means a lot less going around, which means quicker aftermarket prices are going to shoot up. So like Jeff, like how you were saying, normally for like some of the 60,000 ones, you can turn around and get it for $1 or $2. They're banking on the fact that this one that has 10,000, because the supply is so much lower, people won't be able to wait and then buy it in the aftermarket for $1 or $2. They're banking on the fact that because there's only 10,000, soon as it sells out, even that common is going to be whatever, 10, 20, at least 2x, 3x, you know?
So it's kind of, because we're in their early stages, and that's why we wanted to bring you on and talk about it right now, because is this kind of a history in the making, the first time this is really being done? And we're seeing the beginnings of it where, again, people are either going to look like geniuses when they go all in on all the stuff, or they're going to be like, you're a fool. Why did you do that? Yeah, of course it was going to fail. So we don't know because it's so early on and they're still trying things out. Yeah. But we just wanted to talk about that and kind of give everyone some information, give you something to think about like we try and do here, because this is interesting. We know a lot of things are going digital. So to have a digital asset like this.
Yeah, I mean, everything. I was sitting here just thinking through my head, right, is like, so you're owning a digital asset, and maybe that might be part of the issue, right, is, you know, if something happened to the server and, you know, Edward Norton's team, you know, came and blew up, you know, the server, well, then you've lost now your digital asset. But, you know, just sitting here thinking about it, I mean, really everything I own is a freaking digital asset, right? Like, I don't have cash. All my money is a digital asset right now. All my music is a digital asset. You know, all of my, you know, storefronts, you know, everything is actually a digital asset, you know, and that stuff could go away just as.
Right, Nephilim. I mean, it's,
you know, I guess it's just the idea of this being, well, and like you said, a stock, you know, a stock is really a digital asset right now. It's just kind of breaking through that barrier of this always being paper, which I guess like money was. I mean, I don't know when I quit carrying cash, you know. I'm not sure.
You don't even think about it.
Know? I mean, I get aggravated that my lawn guy doesn't freaking do Cash App yet. You know, it's like, dude, you know, I mean, come on. Why am I going to the bank every freaking Monday, you know, and you know, getting out this nasty ass green stuff, you know, that I don't know who's touched.
Yeah. Nephilim, to your point, I don't know what percentage of comic book readers currently read digital. We talked about this in one of the earlier shows. I know I started reading digital comics right now because, one, there's whole runs of comics that I don't plan on buying, but I'd love to read. So you've got a 100-issue run of something that I don't necessarily want to buy all 100 issues, but if I can read it digitally, that's what I started doing. I thought I'd never read digital comics. So even I got into that a little bit just so I can read full runs of everything that I may not normally have bought or saw anywhere. So I don't know. And could this be for the future? I know so many things are moving digital right now. This, again, one of those things we talked about. This, you could be a genius or you can be crazy. I mean, it's hard to say, but it's hard to bet against digital stuff right now. So it's definitely, there's definitely some cons to doing all this right now. And if it gets worked out, like Jay1 is saying, if it gets worked out and we can do more with it later, and the marketplace comes around and more people come into it, you know, this could definitely blow up.
Yeah, you know, I remember years ago that, you know, my dad, back when he's alive, and this was probably, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s, invited me to this meeting with this person that wanted him to invest in bottled water. And we were like, no one's going to freaking buy bottled water.
Remember that?
You can just go to a faucet and get it for free. Why would you do that? You know, and the guy founded Ozarka Water. You know, I could have been a freaking millionaire now And, but it's like we couldn't fathom anybody wanting to buy bottled water, in the late 80s, early 90s,
Right. If you were thirsty and you outside, you went to the hose.
You went to the hose, dog. Yeah.
Right. So you never know. But again, I appreciate, J1. I appreciate you coming on board. If you guys want to follow, because we're just barely scratching the surface, a lot of this stuff, his information is down below. Let me get it back up here.
Yeah, I was just actually looking. You got a lot of videos on YouTube. I just looked, so I subbed you up. Sent you a message over on IG. Y'all do the same. Y'all go and reach out, message him, look at him on IG. He drops a lot of good stuff. There's some good videos over on his YouTube page, and
for sure.
Yeah.
So definitely appreciate it. You guys keep sending us questions. And if you guys have enough of them, we'll definitely bring J1 back. We'll talk about this a little bit more. So again, I appreciate everyone tuning in, watching another great episode. I think more information we're throwing out there, a little bit different, and we like bringing in some extra guests right here that really dive into this and know this information really well. Les Cruces, thank you so much. Matthew Fox, Shutter Doc, Nephilim.
Yeah. So
Scarecrow.
I just want to make sure of one more thing. So NFT is different than NSWF, right?
Yes.
Okay. Get it? Not suitable for work. Never mind.
Thank you again so much, J1. Thank you. His information's down below.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. Thank you.
Yep. No, thank you, man. Thank you much. Shelby, where are you going to be out this week?
I have no idea. I'm going to try some different times on Whatnot. My Tuesday just hasn't been doing it at my usual time. So I think I'm just going to randomly do some, do some sales, maybe during the day, maybe late at night. I'm not sure. So, but yeah, definitely that. I just talked to Thunder. I'm not sure what happened last Thursday, but he said he's going to have a sale this Thursday, so I'll probably visit him there. And then, of course, Saturday will be on Gorilla Todd.
Gorilla Todd's.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
What about you?
Again, Whatnot, I'm on Wednesday morning. I'm also doing the special Friday morning Star Wars episode. So Whatnot is doing a Star Wars weekend. So I'm kicking it off on Friday morning, and then Friday night.
Hear this news, and I don't.
And then Friday night, of course, is always my big show. I give away the 9.8 slab. So doing that, and then Sunday night is my normal show. So that's it. J1, you got anything else going on you want to plug right now, man?
That's all, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you again. Shelby, take us out of here.
All right. And with that, hey, y'all be good to one another out there. And remember, peace, love and comics.
Comics.
Bye, all.